Kazakhstan and Germany are strengthening economic partnership. Leading German companies and its Kazakh counterparts will cooperate on food industry, agriculture, renewable energy and technology transfer. A number of agreements and memorandums were signed in Berlin during the Kazakh-German Business Council meeting. The parties discussed future projects and the implementation of existing projects. Over the past 4 years, the enterprises of the two countries have signed more than 20 contracts worth 2 billion euros.
Германия является стратегическим партнером нашей страны в Европе, так же как и Казахстан для.
Germany is Kazakhstan's strategic partner in Europe, just as Kazakhstan for Germany in Central Asia. We have strategic economic relations. The Business Council is a very important institutional body for our trade and economic relations, which was established in 2010 during Angela Merkel's visit to Kazakhstan and Astana. Prior to this meeting, we held 10 meetings.
Казахстан, в Астану. До этого провели мы 10 заседаний.
На площадке Совета обсуждаются текущие.
Members of the Council discussed the most important points of the agenda, including 24 projects that are being implemented. At the meeting, it was announced that 5 out of 24 projects were successfully implemented this year, and 11 projects are in progress. The German co-chair of the Council, Peter Tils, highlighted that politically, Germany is focusing on cooperating with Central Asia and Kazakhstan because they see many opportunities for the development of joint business projects.
Очень много ниш для развития совместных бизнес-проектов.
The new Silk Road has great prospects. China's Belt and Road Initiative, first announced in Astana 5 years ago, has united most of the Eurasian countries. The revival of the largest project was discussed at a forum in Paris. Leading world experts, including Nobel laureate Jeffrey Sachs, decided how the new Silk Road could contribute to the development of economies. A key factor is investment. However, it is not enough just to attract money to the country. It is way more important to extract the maximum benefit from the project for the state. Today, specialists are increasingly talking about the importance of inter-country cooperation, and as part of the project, this has been conducted through think tanks.
This network of think tanks needs to move from being a place where bilateral studies are collected to actually taking advantage of the network aspect and have occasions where there can be mutual learning.
Experts at the Institute of World Economics and Politics organized a forum on Kazakhstan's experience in the Belt and Road Initiative. Studies show that all the Central Asian countries are deeply involved in this project. All of them, one way or another, are recipients of Chinese investments. On their territory, the project, with the participation of Chinese capital, is being implemented. During the project's implementation, agreements have been reached on investing $64 billion in Kazakhstan's infrastructure and agriculture. Chinese investments have become one of the development opportunities, not only for Kazakhstan's economy, but for the entire region's economy as well. A container train will depart from the port of Busan in South Korea to Europe via Khorgos. Leaders of the Khorgos Eastern Gates Special Economic Zone and the Busan seaport agreed on the logistics route. A memorandum of cooperation was signed between the parties in April this year. As part of the agreement, direct communication is being created between the Busan port and Lianyungang. The investments attracted exceeded 500 billion tenge. The route from South Korea to Europe via the Chinese Lianyungang and Kazakhstan's Khorgos is the shortest among existing routes. Today, Busan is the largest port in South Korea and is the 5th largest in the world in terms of cargo turnover.
Трансконтинентальный маршрут Lianyungang-Khorgos-Baku.
The Lianyungang-Khorgos-Baku transcontinental route to Europe is already operating. Loads are arriving. In 2018, compared with 2017, the volume of transit goods through Kazakhstan increased by 11 times. This is not the limit. We are trying to negotiate to organize a test train from Busan to Europe through Lianyungang and Khorgos. This could show possibilities of this route.
Дали в Европу, чтобы показать возможности этого маршрута.
Uzbekistan plans to build modern customs terminals at 9 border posts. The corresponding decree was signed by President of Uzbekistan, Shavkat Mirziyoyev. Some of the terminals will be built under a public-private partnership. 5 posts will border Kazakhstan. Construction of terminals that will speed up the border crossing will start next year. The customs terminals will work based on the single window principle. They will provide all types of services related to customs clearance, banking and logistics. On February 1 of next year, a front office will be opened in Tashkent and in the region. Similar offices will be opened in other regions as well.
Uzbekistan bilemiz 9 жолдың торабына орналасқандықтан
9 border crossing points equipped with modern technologies will increase the number of tourists and shorten the time for border crossing. 5 terminals that will border Kazakhstan are a very important moment for the development of trade and economic relations.
екі арадағы барыс келісті жақсартуға қызмет етеді.
New equipment was purchased at the largest dairy plant in Bishkek. The whole system, including bottling, packaging and dispensing, works automatically. The enterprise produces 6,000 bottles per hour, which saves time and eliminates human errors. As a result, the company will double the volume of products and expand its export opportunities. X-ray equipment is installed here to monitor the overfilling. The equipment guarantees the safety of our products. Milk is checked in a chemical laboratory. Both raw materials and finished products are tested and the samples are examined thoroughly.
Благодаря тому оборудованию, которое у нас по факту есть.
The equipment that we have allows us to perform tests and gain results quickly.
Благодаря этим оборудованиям делаем и анализы даем быстро.
According to analysts, Kyrgyzstan's dairy industry is becoming increasingly competitive. Modern equipment is installed at milk processing plants. The opening of a new line at the dairy plant in Bishkek is timely. The enterprise will produce more products and will earn more profits. Experts emphasize that 2 years ago, exports of dairy products in Kyrgyzstan almost doubled. With the government's support, small farms are opening throughout Kyrgyzstan, providing enough raw materials for manufacturers. The enterprise has the capacity to process 3 times more milk. Today, they process about 60 tons of milk per day, and they will have the opportunity to process 200 tons of milk. Kyrgyz dairy products such as kefir, yogurts and butter are in demand in Kazakhstan, Russia and other neighboring countries. The producers are set to promote their products in the Chinese market. The Kentau vegetables and fruits deep processing plant delivered 1,500 tons of canned fruits and berries to Russia. Although the enterprise was commissioned last year, the plant's products are in high demand in the local and foreign markets. According to the enterprise management, their products are popular due to the production of natural squashes, salads and compotes. We work for 7 to 8 hours every day and produce 70 to 80 tons of products. In June, July and August, the production volume becomes larger. When vegetables and fruits start to ripen, we work in 2 shifts. The plant's operations do not stop for a minute. Fresh fruits are being washed in one facility, while workers of another department process jams, squashes and compotes. The plant's operations use the Russian-Belarusian technology. Vegetables and fruits for the enterprise are collected by members of a local cooperative which owns 300 hectares of fertile land. South Korea is interested in enhancing medical cooperation with Kazakhstan. Kazakh doctors and nurses will be invited to visit South Korea to exchange experience in medical practices. The announcement was made at the first International Asia-Pacific Medical Conference in the city of Daegu. The event was attended by over 100 physicians from 17 countries. Specialists demonstrated a variety of advanced technologies in the field of dermatology, dentistry, and radiology. The medical doctors showed a 3D printer which can print any part of the human body. In addition, the Korean medical professionals presented a device for the painless vitamin treatment for the skin, removal of scars, and smoothing wrinkles. The Korean medical centers are actively cooperating with clinics in Karaganda. Our hospital has representative offices in the Kazakh city of Karaganda, China, Vietnam, and Canada. Kazakh doctors are highly professional. Our center uses about 80 types of laser equipment. The conference participants also attended a surgical operation performed in the hair transplantation center. Local medical specialists developed a method specifically designed for Asians. This method was tested by the head of the center, Kim Jong-chol.
탈모는 100% 유전입니다.
Baldness is inherited and caused by the hormonal imbalance rather than the environment. Patients should contact specialists to prevent baldness. There are special medical products, but transplantation is needed in certain situations.
그래서 그 유전적인 요인하고
Gyeongbok National University Hospital signed cooperation memorandums with 7 hospitals from Kazakhstan. Every month, Kazakh medical professionals will undergo internships in the hospital.
тәжірибе алуға болады, көбінесе диагностикалық шараларында және зерттемелер жұмыстары бойынша.
We are ready to learn from our colleagues. We are especially interested in their modern diagnostic methods as well as the work of their pediatric neurologists and endocrinologists.
көп бөлімдерінде көріп, арасындағы айырмашылықтарын біліп жатырмыз.
Meanwhile, South Korean doctors are set to learn from their Kazakh colleagues in perinatal centers. Nazarbayev Intellectual School of Chemistry and Biology in Karaganda has been accredited by the Council of International Schools. The certificate is recognition of the quality of an organized school life and educational process. The Council of International Schools unites 735 secondary schools, 616 universities and colleges from 116 countries. All Nazarbayev intellectual schools of the country pass the test of the prestigious organization. This certificate opens doors of many universities for school graduates.
600 университетов находятся в составе СИАЭС. И эти университеты, они у нас на сайте есть вся
600 universities are part of the Commonwealth of Independent States. These universities are starting to hunt for our graduates. They begin to select children who are finishing the school. We want universities to look for our children, not the other way around.
школы. То есть то, что мы хотели, чтобы не мы бегали за университетами, а университеты теперь бегали за нашими детьми.
Kazakh government is working on improving the tourism infrastructure in West Kazakhstan region. Tourists have the opportunity to learn about the history of the region as the construction of a road to Bokeyorda district, located 600 kilometers away from Ural, will begin next year. A unique historical museum complex is located in the Khan Ordasi village, where Jangir Khan's headquarters was restored.
Работы по проектно-сметной документации, по изготовлению проектно-сметной документации.
We are finishing the design work and estimation documents for the project. Recently, the designers held public hearings where residents lend their support for this project. We plan to begin the road construction in June next year. It should be completed in 2021.
Начать строительные работы по дороге. В 2021 году работы должны завершиться.
In early 19th century, during Jangir Khan's reign, the first women's gymnasium, hospital, publishing house and bank were built at the current location of Khan Wardasi village. The treasury building, built back in 1867, was preserved to this day.
По последним данным, которые мы
According to the latest data discovered in the archives of the Russian city of Orenburg, the treasury dates back to an earlier time. There is evidence that there was a loan office in the treasury. We are currently studying this information.
И эта история нами сейчас исследуется.
There are 45 facilities built during Jangir Khan's reign in Khan Wardasi, 13 of which were included in the museum complex. 8 years ago, the Khan's headquarters with the arms chamber were restored and 5 museums were opened. Visitors can learn about the banking, printing, education and healthcare development. This year, the complex was visited by more than 16,000 tourists.
Я хочу, чтобы туристы здесь посмотрели, посетили это
I
место.
want many people to visit this place. The people here are nice, the water is very good. I believe that this place is holy. Tourists will have the opportunity to reach the unique ancient facilities by air. Light aircraft industry is being developed and an airfield will be built in the region. Members of Following the Footsteps of Ancestors expedition are exploring medieval culture of Mamluks. In Lebanon, scientists visited Beirut, Tripoli and Sidon. The era of Mamluks, which had Turkic origins, has lasted for 3 centuries. Sultan Baybars stopped the Crusades who arrived in Muslim countries with a conquest campaign. In 1289, Sultan Al-Mansur Qalawun freed Tripoli from Europeans. Preserved buildings erected in a certain architectural style serve as evidence to the influence of the Mamluks. Now we are standing at the Al-Mansur Mosque. It took more than 20 years to build the mosque. The style of architecture dates back to ancient Cairo, nearly 14th century ago. One of the interesting facts is similarity of architectural styles. Many elements are found in our construction style. In Lebanon, scientists met with descendants of Sultan Baybars and Sultan Al-Mansur, and they also visited the National Museum of Beirut, which has unique exhibits of the Mamluk era, including gold coins, weapons, and household items. Expedition members will continue their search in Jordan. An international forum titled Kazakh Culture in the Global World took place in New York with participation of poets, publicists and musicians. American writers highlighted that they have discovered new pages in Kazakhstan's history and culture. The Kazakh delegation told participants about the country's unique cultural heritage of the Great Steppe and about the role of literature in formation of spiritual values.
Biz tәуелсіз ел ретінде мойындалдық. Ал енді biz басқа әлемге biz жұмбақ.
On the world stage, we are recognized as an independent state. There is still a mystery. Our roots go back to centuries. We must make sure that they are known all over the world. Writers, artists, and scientists should talk about this.
Барлығында осы ақын, жазушылар, өнер қайраткерлері, ғалымдар жеткізу керек.
Осындай форумдарда мәселе тек қана
Participation in such forums is not only a get-together for us, but also to discuss further development and distribution of Kazakh literature. This is the 4th forum as part of the 20th anniversary of Astana. Similar meetings with writers and poets took place in Seoul, London and Berlin. The participants of the New York Forum have seen new creations by Kazakh authors and visited a photo exhibition dedicated to Kazakhstan's culture and art.
Казахстан не перестает удивлять. Еще одно фантастическое мероприятие. Точнее, конечно.
Kazakhstan doesn't stop surprising us. This is another fantastic event, most importantly, a friendly meeting. Many said that Kazakhstan went beyond the local, became a truly global example. How 100 nations can live in the country. This is a complete unique example. The presentation by the professor of philology, who talked about your transition to Latin alphabet, was very interesting.
Было выступление профессора филологии, который рассказал о вашем переходе на латиницу.
Kazakh culture is not only great for Kazakhstan and for Kazakh people, but it is important for the rest of the world. One of the biggest features of Kazakh culture is the nomadic background.
әдебиет, өнер, мәдениет
Literature, art and culture are a big world that connects and brings together 8 billion people from all over the world and calls to a life without weapons. May our literature continue to flourish.
яғни қарусыз өмір сүруге жол ашатын үлкен бір мүмкіндік әлемі ғой.
The meeting participants highlighted that common goals can truly unite different continents, cultures, languages and traditions. Melodies of the Great Steppe were performed in Spain. The Kurmangazi Academic Orchestra held a concert in Madrid. To mark Kazakhstan's Independence Day, the Kazakh musicians presented works by Kazakh composers and world classics to foreign audience.
Хотя локомотивом наших взаимоотношений с Испанией являются торгово-экономические связи.
Trade and economic relations are the driving force of our relations with Spain. We also pay great attention to the development of cultural relations between Kazakhstan and Spain. We work hard to publish a 2-volume anthology of the Kazakh prose and poetry in the Kazakh language next year, with the support of the Cervantes Institute and the Spanish Ministry of Culture.
На казахском языке двухтомник антология казахстанской прозы и поэзии.
The artists also performed at the monument of Don Quixote and Sancho Panza in Madrid. They performed Kazakhstan's national anthem and several compositions on Dombra. Local residents enjoyed the interesting performance.